everyone. My name is Kristen Miller, and I'm one of the math coaches for Kalamazoo Public Schools. Today is our final video for the Summer Learning for All video series. In these videos, we hope you've learned some fun ways to practice your math skills this summer. Let's get started. Take a look at this picture. Use this picture to complete the following sentences. There are more blank than blank. There are less blank than blank. These animals can be sorted into two categories. What could the two categories be? Is there another way that you could sort these animals into two categories? Tell someone how you would sort the animals. Can you make a picture graph or a bar graph using the animals in this picture? After you make the graph, ask someone a question that could be answered using the information on your graph. This week, our at-home math task is going to be focused all on subtraction. Remember that subtraction is the process or skill of taking one number or amount from another. We can use subtraction to find the answer to take apart problems, to take from problems, and for comparison problems. For your task this week at home, you will need the following items: a deck of cards. You'll also need a 10-frame drawing and paper and pencil. Today, we're going to play a game called 10-frame subtraction. It's exactly as the title sounds. We're going to be taking away from 10. Now, if you're in kindergarten or first grade, we want you to use just one 10-frame to start. If you're a second grader, you're going to use a double 10-frame, and I'll show you what that looks like later on in the video. So let's right now practice the kindergarten and first grade version of this game. So what you're going to do is you're going to have your 10-frame in front of you filled with 10 items. And remember, when a 10-frame is full, we know that there's 10, hence the name 10-frame. You're going to take your pile of cards and you're going to pull out the ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 from one suit. Doesn't matter which one. You're going to mix those up and put them in a pile in front of you. So to start, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick one card off of my pile. I picked a 5. Now what I'm going to do is using my 10-frame with 10 items on it, I'm going to take away 5 of the items. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's count how many are left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's represent what we did with a number sentence. I started with a full 10-frame. So remember, I had 10 dots to start with. I picked a 5, so that was how many I would take away. 10 minus 5 equals, how many dots was I left with? Go ahead and count. That's right, I was left with 5. Easy peasy, right? So that's our first number sentence. Now, to keep going, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that 5 and set it off into another pile, and I still have all of my other cards in a pile. So I'm going to put 10 back up on my 10-frame. All right, so I know I'm starting with 10. Let's see, I'm going to pick another card, see how many I'm taking away this time. 3. All right, help me count. 1, 2, 3. So remember, we started with a full 10-frame, so I have 10. And I took away 3. Let's see how many are left. Go ahead and count. How many were left? I know that if the top is filled, I have 5, 6, 7. So if I started with 10 and I took away 3, that equals 7. Is that what you got? Nice counting. After I do this, each time I'm going to refill my 10 frame with 10 dots so that I'm always starting at 10. Because that's what we really want to focus on. We want to focus on taking away from 10 and being really comfortable with those subtraction problems. Remember, if you're in 2nd grade, you're going to use a double 10 frame. And I'm going to show you what that looks like real quick right now. Kindergartners in 1st grade, once you get really comfortable with all of the subtraction problems within 10, you can work on these ones within 20 as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get this double 10 frame drawn up real quick. And I'm going to fill that second 10 frame as well. So I start with 10, now 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So 2nd graders, you're going to be subtracting from 20. You can use that same pile of cards to start. And what you're going to do is, again, pick a card off the top. I picked a 10. So what I'm going to do is I'm starting with 20. So I'm going to write a number sentence as I go. 2nd graders, you can write it as you go or you can do it after. 20. And the card I picked was 10. So I have to take 10 away. Well, that seems easy enough. I have a full 10 frame right there. So I know if I erase all of the dots, that'll be taking 10 away. So I had 20 and I took away 10. How many does that leave me with? Let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 20 minus 10 equals 10. Nice job. Let's try one more for the 2nd graders. And hey, kindergartners and 1st graders, once you get solid through 10, we want you practicing within 20 as well. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fill back in my bottom 10 frame and we're going to pick one more card. Okay, picking a card off the top deck. This time I picked a 7. So how many dots am I going to erase? 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to start my number sentence now. 20 minus 7 equals, go ahead and count how many you see left. I still have a full 10 frame, so I'm going to count on from 10. 10, 11, 12, 13. So if I started with 20 and I took away 7, that leaves me with 13. Nice work. So what you're going to continue doing is making your way through these cards and taking all of the different single-digit numbers that you can away from 20. You're also going to take away 10 from 20 as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at that picture that we looked at the beginning and see if we can find some ways to subtract in that picture. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to erase my 10 frames so that we could write some number sentences from those pictures that we looked at before. Remember, we said that there are some different kinds of subtraction problems that we're going to see each day. So some of the problems are those takeaway problems like we just did with our 10 frames. Another type of problem that we might have is we might have a take from. So let's go ahead and let's look at this group of animals here on the left-hand side, the group that aren't birds. Let's go ahead and count how many animals you see there. Right. There's 10 animals there. Those 10 animals, a nice way I like to think about them is that they have 4 legs. So I have 10 animals that have 4 legs. And then look over at the birds. All of the birds have 2 legs. How many birds are there? I want to take away that group of birds from that group of other animals. Ten minus 6. Now I can use my 10 frame picture again if that's what I need to do. Or you might know that 10 take away 6 leaves you with 4. Now, that was really a comparison type of problems. I was looking at how many animals had 4 legs and how many had 2 legs, and I was comparing those 2 groups. So I wasn't really taking away one group from another. I was actually just comparing how many animals had 4 legs and how many animals had 2. So that's one of the types of problems. Another one that we could do is the takeaway problem. Let Mrs. Miller think of a better takeaway problem. So let's say I was just using those animals with 4 legs. So I'm only talking about that group on the left. So let's say I had those 10 animals that had 4 legs, and I gave 3 of those away to my little sister. I might want to show that with a 10 frame, or I could just draw a quick picture. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I started with 10 of those animals and I gave 3 away to my little sister. I'm going to cross off 3. If I started with 10 and I gave 3 away to my little sister, let's count how many are left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nice job. So there are tons of different ways that you could look at this picture and show subtraction and have conversations with someone about all the different ways that you could represent subtraction problems. Now, your assignment for this week is to think about that game that we played earlier, the 10 frame subtraction. And I want you to try and come up with all of the different number sentences that you can when taking away from 10. Remember, kindergartners and first graders, you're going to work on subtracting from 10. Second graders, you're going to work on subtracting from 20. Thanks for watching, and we hope you have a great rest of your summer. Your teachers miss you and can't wait to hear about all the ways that you practiced your math skills this summer.